Hello everyone, it's Jordan here, and I'm going to make a quick video today showing how to kind of do some things with drop-down data validations and active sheets in Google with Google Apps Script. So this was suggested by a guy named Kevin Jackson as a way to manage a bunch of different tabs that you have available in the bottom and having one um, master sheet that would then allow you to choose a client in this case and then available tabs for that client. Click on a button and have it take you to that sheet. Client 1, tab B. And I'll do one more example. Let's say client 3 is selected, who's got tabs A to E, and we want to go to tab E. You can click on Go to Sheet, and it slides you over to client 3, tab E. And then, of course, you can always go back and forth. So I'm going to be showing you how to make that today using Google Apps Script and an add-on that I developed called Multi Dropdowns. This wonderful 2.5-star add-on that I guess a few people have liked, but a lot of people have not. So anyways, if you want to see how to make this, stick around. Alright, let's get started. So I've got the tab names already set up here in this in a sheet, and I've got a blank sheet. I'm calling it master sheet. And what we're going to be doing is we'll have a column for client and a column for tab, and we're going to open up my multi dropdowns add-on. And we're using, since my tab names is basically going to be the client name in the first row and then the columns underneath it. I'll even make this one longer. Yeah, why not? Make them a little bit longer. All right, so we're going to do multiple columns, and the sheet with the categories is called tab names. I want to select that, and then I just want to make sure that the cell you have as active, right, in your sheet is where you want the drop down to go. So I'll click Create and let it whirl about for a minute. There we go, multi-column data validation created. And I should be able to select a client and get the drop downs associated. If I change to 3, I should have all the way up to E. Perfect. And yeah, okay, invalid. Perfect. So that works just fine. What we want is to create a button. So depending on what you have selected, it takes you to the correct sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and just insert. I'm going to insert an image from a drawing. Okay, now that I have an image, I'm going to just size it down a little bit, place it right here. Not worried too much about the styling of this. And I'm going to assign a script to that image, and I'm going to call it activate sheet. And we're going to open up the script editor, and we're going to define that function. Okay, so I've got the script editor loaded. I'm sitting here at my function, and I need to declare a couple of variables to get started. The first one, I'm going to call it master sheet, and that is just going to be the sheet that we are going to look at the values of our dropdowns. So we want to do spreadsheet app.get active spreadsheet.get sheet by name, and we're going to call it master sheet. Perfect. Then we need to get the values of our client, the client tab, or the value of that client dropdown. So we'll call that master sheet get range, and I'm just going to use A1 notation because it's always going to be the same place. It's always going to be an A2, not A1. Get range, and then we want to get value. And I want to get the tab that we're going to go to, and that's going to be master sheet get range, basically the exact same thing, and we want to do B2. And we want to get value. Then I want to get the sheet that I'm going to activate. I'm going to call it sheet to activate. Variable name doesn't matter, but I like to be as clear as possible so that when I come back, I have a clue as to what I'm doing. Get active spreadsheet, and we're going to get sheet by name, and I'm going to concatenate those strings with client plus space plus tab. So it's basically going to say whatever the value is here plus a space, and the value is here. Now we actually need to do something with that, and we're going to say spreadsheet app dot get active spreadsheet dot set active sheet, and we're going to say sheet to activate. Now this will work, but there's a major problem. None. I need to change my function to the name that I said, and it was activate sheet. Activate sheet. Now the problem is when I run this by clicking on the button, I don't have any of those tabs created. So it'll probably give me an error. Yeah, invalid argument. Doesn't exist. There is no sheet there to change it to. And I thought it'd be way easier to create those sheets programmatically. I could burp, 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 and then rename each of them. But that is a number of sheets, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do it programmatically. Okay, so we're going to define another function here called make sheets. And the first thing we need to do is get all the values from our tab name sheet. Then we're going to turn those into sheets. So we're going to say get spreadsheet app dot get active spreadsheet. We're going to get sheet by name, and it's called tab names. So that'll give us our tab names sheet. Now we need to get the values from that. And we're going to say sheet.get data range.get values. And we're going to then shift off the clients, which is the very first row. So we're going to say values.shift. Shift again, if you've paid attention to some of my other videos, it is a way to take the very first element off of an array. And in this case, the very first element in our array are those clients. Client 1, client 2, client 3. So we're going to go ahead and go from there. We actually need to nest a couple of loops here. And oops, let me go ahead and type them out. This is where JavaScript can get a little complicated. So we're going to use var I equals 0, and as long as I is less than clients.length, there are 3 clients, and then we're going to increment through that. Then we're actually going to increment through all of the remaining rows. So we use j incrementer, j equals 0, j is less than values.length, and j++. Okay, so now that we've got those nested loops, we're going to actually create a conditional, an if conditional, and that's going to be as long as it's not empty, as long as our value index j index I. All right, so it's kind of reverse there. The value of index j index I is not equal to an empty string, then we are going to create it as a sheet. And we do that by spreadsheet app dot get active spreadsheet dot insert sheet and clients I, oops, plus a space plus values index j, index I. See what I mean about it getting complicated there? All right, and if all goes well here, we should be able to run make sheets, and we should get some sheets with all of our names here. Client 1, tab A. Perfect. All right, there's a quick way to create a bunch of client tabs. I'm going to go ahead and hide this tab names column so that it's not blocking up things. And I should be able to, client 2, let's go to client 2, tab D. Client 2, tab D. Does it work? Client 2, tab D. Perfect. And I think if I hit back, yes, it will take me back. Client 3, tab E. Let's take a look at, sometimes it takes a second to update the dropdowns. Client 3, tab E. There we go. Perfect. So now I've turned a master sheet, and it's kind of like a table of contents, a little drop-down table of contents. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, please subscribe, send me a like, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great time coding.